Good afternoon to all. So in the previous class, regarding the construction of that particular lathe machine is discussed elaborated. After knowing the construction of that particular lathe machine and after knowing what is the function or purpose of each component in that particular lathe machine, now we are supposed to discuss what is the need or what is the purpose of that particular lathe machine in order to perform various operations. That means in order to produce required components. In the process of producing required components, lathe machine is used to perform various types of operations. So now in this class, I am going to teach what are the different types of operations that are to be performed on lathe machine. So the main purpose of this particular lathe machine is to perform required operation in order to produce the required component. So now let us we enter into the topic, that is operations performed on lathe machine, or it may also called lathe operations. If we observe, this is the these are the components. These are the components produced on a lathe machine. This is the connecting rod. With this particular connecting rod, some operations are performed on lathe machine. At the beginning or initially, the connecting rod is manufactured by using casting process. After producing from the casting process, next secondary operations are performed on lathe machine, and next surface grinding machine, and next in some operations are performed on milling machine also. So likewise, this is the crankshaft. This is the crankshaft. So the crankshaft is used to transmit linear motion of piston into rotary motion. So the piston within the IC engine reciprocates from top dead center to bottom dead center. So the movement of that particular piston is transmitted into rotary motion. So that is the purpose of this particular crankshaft. So likewise, if we are observing, so these are the components that are produced on lathe machine. So lathe operations mainly categorized as two types of operations. So one is the standard operations, or that also called as common operations. Second one is the special operations, or simply they may be termed as rare operations. So now what is the difference between standard operations and special operations? So the name itself indicates common operations. Rare operation means the operations performed by using lathe machine and by using work holding devices and cutting tools. That particular operations are classified or termed as standard or common operations. So that means in order to perform these operations, extra attachments are not required. Simply by using that particular different parts of lathe machine, that means by using lead screw, thread cutting operation is performed. That's why thread cutting operation is a common operation or standard operation. Likewise, drilling operation. So by using a cutting tool drill bit and by holding that particular drill bit within the tail stock, that particular operation is performed. So that's why the operation drilling is also considered as common operation. So let us we should enter or we should discuss what are the different operations which falls under common operations and rare operations. So the standard common operations, basic operation is facing operation. In the yesterday class or in the previous class, we discussed by giving motion to the cross slide, the cutting tool moves perpendicular to that particular central axis or job. So that particular operation is called as the facing operation. So next one is the turning operation. So by moving the saddle or cross slide or carriage parallel to the axis, that particular operation is named or termed as the turning operations. So turning or, and next one is the eccentric turning operations. So in the eccentric turning operation, the axis of the job and the axis of that particular center of machine or central axis should differ with a certain distance. That particular operation is termed as the eccentric turning. So next operation, very simplest operation or easy operation is the knurling. That means in order to produce some grip over the cylindrical surface, some particular area is provided with some roughness. That roughness is with of uniform order. So that particular operation is called as the knurling operation. So for this operation, the required tool is the knurling tool. So next one is the taper turning. So observe carefully. So in this particular turning operation, the cutting tool moves parallel to the axis, whereas in the taper turning operation, instead of moving either carriage or cross side, by moving that particular compound rest, the cutting tool moves inclined position to that particular axis or job. So that particular operation is the taper turning operation. So the next operation is, so still all this are comes under the standard or common operations only. So drilling operation. So whenever the hole is required like exactly at the center portion of the cylindrical port or cylindrical job, by the time only the drilling operation is performed on lathe machine. So after completion of the drilling operation, in order to correct the size and shape of the drilled hole, the reaming operation is performed on lathe machine. So this also comes under common operation because extra attachments are not required to perform all these operations. Next, boring operation. Boring means simply, even from the first year workshop itself, so many times we discuss, what is the meaning of the boring. So enlarging a already drilled hole is termed as the boring operation. This particular boring operation is performed on lathe machine in two different ways. One is by inserting a boring tool within the tailstock dead center and by rotating that particular boring tool with the help of that particular hand wheel to opposite in the direction opposite to that particular job or center of axis, that particular boring operation is performed. And the second one is, that means for smaller jobs, this method is used. And if the job is larger one, then in that particular condition, instead of using the boring tool or instead of fixing the boring tool within the tailstock center, the boring tool, that means a single point cutting tool, listen carefully, boring tool is a multi-point cutting tool. Boring is a multi-point cutting tool. Drilling is also multi-point cutting tool. Reaming is also multi-point cutting tool. But in order to perform boring operation on a larger size job, instead of using either boring tool, a single point cutting tool is mounted within the tool post and it is turned within the internal size or internal side of the drilled hole. That particular operation is performed by using a single point cutting tool and a tool post. So here that means in the lathe machine, boring operation is performed in two different ways. Next one is the threading or thread cutting operation. So this particular threading operation or thread cutting operation is very, very important operation that is carried on that particular lathe machine. That means either drilling operation or reaming operation, they may perform either on lathe machine or that operations may also performed on the drilling machine also. But whereas the threading operation is mainly possible on lathe machine. In other machines also, the thread cutting is possible, but it is very simple and easy to produce threads by using lathe machine mechanism, that is the lead screw and off nut mechanism. So that is also important operation performed on lathe machine. In order to perform this particular thread cutting operation or threading operation also, extra tools are not required. Only by engaging that particular lead screw and by using that off net mechanism only the threading is possible. That's why this threading operation also considered as the standard operation only. Next, parting of. Suppose if the feed rod is of a large length and whereas the job required is smaller size, in that particular condition, after completion of that particular all the operation in that particular job, instead of separating that particular job by using another power axa machine or by using other cutting machine, so the job is supposed to be separated by using a parting tool. So that what happens, the time required, the time required to fix that particular job within the work holding device. The work holding device may be faceplate or 3-jaw check or 4-jaw check. Instead of wasting the time by for removal and for loading of the particular job, simply by using parting tool and by performing parting off. Parting operation means separating a particular required length. Separating a required length of that particular job is termed or called as the parting off. So the advantage of this particular parting off is so the time required to unload and loading the job is eliminated. So that what happen, once the parting operation is completed, immediately the next sequence of operations are carried on that particular lathe machine. So the parting of machine mainly performed on automatic lathes or capstan and turret lathes. So in addition to these above standard operations or common operations, some other operations are also carried on a lathe machine. So to carry or to perform that operations, some extra or additional attachments are required. So that particular operations which requires extra or additional setup are called as rare operations or special operations, because special tools are used to perform that operations. That's why simply that operations are called as special operations. So that operations is the grinding. So by using a particular grinding setup, the grinding operation is performed. Next one is the milling. So in order to perform milling operation also some extra attachments are required. So next, keyway cutting. So actually keyway cutting is best suitable on a milling machine or on a shaping machine or on a slotting machine. But by using special operations, by using a special attachments. Remember, if the operations performed on a large number of quantities, then it is not at all suggestible to perform that operations on lathe machine by using extra or additional setups. Instead of that one, these particular operations, instead of this one, these particular operations, either milling or keyway cutting or grinding, are only for few number of components. Just for that few number of components, it is not feasible or possible to procure this particular either grinding machine or milling machine or shaping machine. For small quantity of numbers, that particular extra attachments are procured and they are assembled to that particular lathe machine, and these required operations are performed. But very clear, remember, if the number of components required to more component, that particular quantity required with this particular special operation are large, then it is suggestible to utilize that particular specific machine only. If the only few components required in along with that particular lathe of a standard lathe operation, in that particular case only, it is recommended to use special attachments to perform this rare or special operations. So next, tapping is also internal threading one. So previous what we discussed is threading, that is the external threading. So that particular process is very simple by using a single point cutting tool. Whereas for this tapping, it is the internal threading process. For this one, extra set of taps are required. Even for dyeing also. So for producing external threads by using that particular die set is also possible. In this particular case, the die sets, dyeing is having pair of sets, 2 or 3 pairs. So based on the pitch of the thread, the number of sets are required. So by using the cutting tool die setup and by fixing this particular die to that particular tailstock end, tailstock end, this particular operation is performed. So all these operations are called as special or rare operations. The reason is to perform these operations, it is not possible on lathe machine without any extra attachments. That means some special attachments are required. That's why all these operations are classified or comes under special or rare operations. So now, after discussing or after classifying that particular operations, now that particular each operation is supposed to be discussed. So the very first important operation is the facing operation. Suppose even though the job is a cylindrical component, that particular surface is not smooth or the size is not good as per the requirement along the axis or perpendicular the axis. So in order to adjust the cylindrical job, we required various operations. So the first basic operation is facing operation. So in this particular facing operation, the cutting tool travels perpendicular to the axis of the job. So for this one, the cross slide is moves towards that particular job, so that cutting tool remove that particular material. That means on the front side of that particular job, the front side of the job surface is prepared to accurate position and to smooth surface. That particular operation, facing is an operation which produces flat surface. That means earlier or previous, the job may cut on different machines. Either it may be cutted by using a power axa or a hand axa or cutting wheel machine. But the particular surface is not smooth surface and flat surface. The surface may have some inclination with that particular axis of the job. So in order to make the job surface, that means front side or front face, exactly perpendicular to the axis of the job, this particular facing operation is performed. So that's why facing is the operation to be carried on a lathe machine or for a particular job is the first primary operation. So once facing operation is performed on the job, that particular surface produces exact true surface or flat surface. So flat surface means the surface is having uniform smoothness and it is exactly perpendicular to axis of the job. So that is the meaning of the flat surface. Next, in order to perform this spacing operation, the tool is fed at right angles to the axis of the workpiece. As discussed in the previous class, so in order to move the cutting tool, perpendicular to axis of the job or axis of the rotation, that means cross slide is supposed to move towards the job. Okay, that means in order to perform this facing operation, the movement of cross slide is required. That means either compound rest or carriage is not supposed to be rotated. That's why before starting this facing operation, first that particular movement of carriage is locked by using that particular hand wheel tightening. Next one, the hand wheel of the cross slide rotation causes for the to and fro motion of the cutting tool with reference to the central axis of the job. So that's why the flat surface is having exact 90 degree that particular center of that particular job. So observe carefully. So in this one, single point cutting tool is fixed within the tool post. So this is the four-way tool post. So yesterday we discussed two types of tool post. One is the four-way tool post, another is the column type key post, or it may also called as the pillar type key post. Here this particular tool post visualized or observed in this one is the four-way tool post. So what is the advantage of four-way tool post as compared with the pillar type or single, that is discussed in the previous class already. So observe here this particular cutting tool moves towards this particular center of the job. Whenever it moves towards the particular center of the job, that particular excess material is removed in the form of the chips. So that whenever the cutting tool moves exactly at the center of the job, whenever the cutting tool moves up to center of the job, the flat surface or the surface of the front side of the cylindrical job is converted into a true surface or flat surface, which is exactly perpendicular to the axis. So once this particular single point cutting tool reaches to the center of the job, further there is no need to move this particular cutting tool from center of this job to extreme other side, because the job is under complete continuous rotation. So already the job is under continuous rotation. So both sides of that material is removed with reference to the center of the job. So that is the reason whenever single point cutting tool reaches to the center, so that means that particular required facing operation or removal of material to uniform shape is completed. So here we observe one important point. By the time when the cutting tool reaches, to this particular center of the axis, if that particular center is having small projection, then it indicates that particular cutting tool should not coincide with the center of the job. So that's why always that particular cutting tool is adjusted to the exact height in order to coincide with the center of the job. So the facing operation is also recommends or also gives clear cut idea whether cutting tool is placed at the exact required height or not. Either if the cutting tool moves slightly away to the center of axis or slightly below to the axis also, the center portion is having a small projection. So that particular represents the cutting tool should not coincide with the central axis of that one. So in order for that one, the cutting tool height is supposed to be adjusted once again. Next, so this is the facing operation. This is the single point cutting tool. As the cutting tool moves towards this one, clearly the excess material is removed so that this particular front side of the job is getting a true surface or a flat surface. So this is the tool used for facing operation, that is the single point cutting tool. Observe initially the front side is having roughness. So that particular roughness is represented or clearly visible by using this charted lines or cross lines. These cross lines are produced on a power axle machine or on a manual axle machine or rather by using a cutting wheel type of machine. So that particular cutting operation produces this particular rough lines or rough surface. This particular rough surface is finished with the help of the single point cutting tool, just as discussed right now. So observe, this is the beginning of the facing operation. So this is the at the intermediate stage of the facing operation. Even though cutting tool is moved from this end to from this portion, this particular material in the opposite direction is also removed in the form of chips, because just now as we discussed, the job is continuous rotating. That's why even though cutting tool moves to a small portion, the material or the surface on the opposite side is also prepared with a smooth surface. So after completion of the facing operation, the next operation, that is turning operation. So in the turning operation, the maximum amount of material is removed. If you observe that particular lathe operations, so the first operation to perform is facing operation. After facing operation, based on the particular drawing required or based on the size of that particular required component, the operation generally followed is the turning operation. Even though taper turning is required, so taper turning is not possible from the top surface of the job up to the small end, up to the small end, up to the one end. First, the job is the excess material is removed by using the turning operation. After performing to a certain diameter only, the taper turning operation is supposed to be performed. So turning is the machining operation. How this particular turning operation is performed? In this particular machine, simply the job rotates along within the center, and by moving a cutting tool, parallel to the axis at the surface or at the outer surface of the job, the excess material is removed. So that particular operation is the called as the turning operation. So observe. So this is the beginning. Already facing operation is completed. So next, this is the depth of the cut. That means from here to here, or from this here to here, depth of cut. So this particular depth of cut units, there may be changes from location to location. Already in the previous class we discussed that particular units are changes from location to location, or from place to place, or from country to country. Here this particular one is represented in the inches, but in generally in our location or in our country we are using the units are millimeters. After completion of the facing operation, by giving required depth of cut to the tool post. So in order to give the depth of cut, in order to provide the depth of cut, the tool required is to adjust is the tool post. So after adjusting the cutting tool to required depth of cut, now by providing feed to this particular carriage or saddle. Now in this position, the movement for that particular cross slide is supposed to be restricted or fixed to a particular portion. After completion of that particular depth of cut with the help of the cross slide, now the motion is supposed to be provided only for carriage or saddle. So this particular motion to the carriage or saddle is provided in the two ways. One is by rotating the hand wheel of carriage by using operator, or that means human force, or next one by connecting the feed screw to this particular carriage. That particular motion to the carriage or cross slide given uniformly without direct control of that particular operator. That means up to engaging or up to adjusting the particular depth of cut and engaging that particular power screw to this particular carriage only. Later stage, without operator control, the particular carriage moves in the required direction, that means in the forward direction. So that is named or termed as the feed. That means that particular movement of that particular carriage per rotation or for number of rotations per rotation is called as the feed. Observe here the job rotates about its center. So now depth of cut is adjusted by using the compound cross slide. After that one, by moving the saddle or carriage, that particular excessive material is removed. That means the diameter is adjusted or decreased to the required position. In lathe machine or in lathe operations, it is not possible either to increase the diameter or to increase the length. Only it is possible to reduce the required size, or only possible to decrease the diameter of the job as per the requirement. That means whenever turning operation is performed, the change is possible only in the diameter. The change in length is not possible. Remember, during the facing operation, the change in diameter is not possible. Only by performing facing operation for more number of times, the length of the component adjusted to required length. In the similar way, during facing operation, the size or diameter adjustment is not possible. Only length adjustment is possible. In the similar way, during turning operation, the excessive material removes so that the diameter decreases or reduces to required position. So in this one, once again I am repeatedly telling to you, the cutting tool moves parallel to the job only. In the previous one, that means in facing operation, cutting tool moves perpendicular to the job. So next, this particular turning operation, observe. So this is the starting portion, it is the one end of the particular job. So this is the cutting tool, single point cutting tool. Now as this particular cutting tool moves towards this particular job, what happens? The diameter decreases. It is the initial diameter of the job, but after providing the required depth of cut, so the required depth of cut is in such a way that it should not too small, it should not too large. Suppose if the diameter, outer diameter, external diameter is a job is the 100 mm, and the job required at a particular length to a particular length at this particular portion is 40 mm. That means the diameter removed to be 60 mm. So it is not possible to remove that particular 30 mm one side. Depth of cut here required is 30 mm. So depth of cut in a single stage not possible. So depth of cut is given from 4 to 8 mm. It depends upon the type of material and type of the cutting tool. That's why. So in this one, the particular depth of cut is given in stepwise. In the first step, it is supposed to be decreases from 100 mm to 80 mm or 100 mm to 90 mm. Later stage from 90 mm to 80 mm. That means in that particular case, depth of cut is 5 mm. If the depth of cut is too small, then it requires more number of process, more number, the cutting tool should perform more number of times turning operation. In the similar way, if the depth of cut is more, the number of passes required are less, but that causes for breakage or for damage of the cutting tool. That's why always depth of cut is to be not too small, not too large. It should be optimum value. That means the job is completed within less number of passes. At the same time, the life of cutting tool also increased to larger value. In that way, depth of cut chosen to a accurate value or moderate value. So this is the operation. In this one, the cutting tool is already moved from this end to up to this one. So this is that particular diameter decreases from this particular size to from this particular size. So next, the common methods for holding workpiece for turning work. So for facing operation, simply the job may be mounted within the faceplate or three-jaw check is sufficient. But in order to hold the workpiece for turning operation, we require some special tools. If the job is supposed to turn to a certain length, in that particular case, the three-jaw check or faceplate or four-jaw check is sufficient. But whenever the job is supposed to turn its full length or its total length, in that case, we required some special holding works. So that means the job is mounted between the centers. The job is mounted between the dead center and live center. Instead of using that particular faceplate or three-jaw check, by using a live center and dead center, and by placing the job between the two centers, the full length of the job is you provided with a turning operation. That means if there is no need to turn the job for full length or for complete length, in that case, the job is inserted within a faceplate. So next one, the similar to a faceplate also, the total length of the job need not required for turning operation. In that case also, the tool used to hold the job is check. The check are three types. One is the 3-jaw check, next 4-jaw check, next collet check. So whenever the ratio, whenever the particular length of job is more than 4, that means the ratio of L by D, that means ratio of length of job to diameter is more than 4. In that case, the job is supposed to fix in this particular case only. So when the work is held between centers for any sort of turning operation, one end is firmly gripped in a lathe dog. So in this particular condition, the lathe dog is very, very essential. So by using that particular lathe dog, the name itself indicates lathe dog. That means dog means which holds. Where it is used in the lathe machine. That's why that particular component is termed or called as the lathe dog, and is supported on the tip of the center. It is used mainly for long work pieces. Clearly, L by D ratio is more than 4. So observe. So this is the lathe dog. This is the lathe dog. Faceplate is also used to perform this operation. Now lathe dog is, now the job is fixed in between the faceplate and this tail stalk. The job is fixed in between the faceplate and the tail stalk, and is supported with the help of the lathe dog. Mainly the faceplate is used to perform eccentric jobs. What is the difference between a cylindrical job and eccentric job? So cylindrical job means its cross section is a exact circular shape, and eccentric job means its cross section is other than cylindrical or circular shape. It is having slightly some displacement. That is the eccentric job. So this faceplate is also used whenever jobs are not placed in the checks, or the job is not convenient to hold within a check. In that particular condition also, the faceplate is used. So that particular check, so the checker is a very simple tool used to hold the work. It may be turning operation or facing operation. So it is a regular shaped, particularly cylindrical jobs are very readily and conveniently held in the checks. So this is a particular 3-jaw check. So this is the 3-jaw check in which the job is fixed. So here the difference between a 3-jaw check and a 4-jaw check is, 3-jaw check is called as the self-centered check. Self-centered check. That means if by using that particular key, if the particular jaws are adjusted, the total 3 jaws moves with uniform length or with uniform distance. That's why the job placed exactly on the center. Suppose if job is having some eccentricity, or if the job is a irregular shape instead of a cylindrical job, in that particular condition, by using a 4-jaw check only, the job is assembled or fixed in the check. So next, eccentric turning. Machining of 2 or more cylindrical surfaces to be turned, which are eccentric to each other, is known as eccentric turning. So this particular eccentric turning, the best example for this eccentric turning is used in that particular, just at the beginning we discussed crankshaft. The crankshaft, 2 cylindrical surfaces are having some distance or some difference. So example, if you observe this particular, some cylindrical portion, certain length of cylindrical portion is at this particular center, and some cylindrical portion is at another distance. That means the center of this particular the center of this particular cylindrical portion is having at a certain distance or separated at a certain distance. This particular one is called as the eccentricity. So turning of this particular jobs is termed or called as the eccentric turning. That means in order to turn this particular length, the job is adjusted exactly. The center of the axis or center of the spindle should coincide center of this particular one. And whenever the particular turning operation to perform on this particular one, now the job is adjusted in such a way that the center of this particular portion of cylinder, the center of this particular cylindrical portion coincide with exactly center of the rotating center or hollow spindle. In this way, the eccentric turning is used to perform whenever two or more cylindrical components, cylindrical sizes or shapes are separated at a particular distance. So best example for eccentric turning is the crankshaft. So that means machining of two or more cylindrical surfaces to be turned which are eccentric to each other is known as eccentric turning. That means the center of two cylinders are separated with a distance. In that particular case, the turning required is eccentric turning. So this is that particular visualization or a view. The center of this particular cylinder is this one, and center of this particular cylindrical portion is slightly differed from the center of this particular job. Next one is the step turning. So that means in the previous turning, that is the plane turning, that means the diameter of that particular job adjusted throughout its length with uniform size, then it is plane turning. In step turning means what happened, the diameter changes from one location to another location. So that particular operation is called as the step turning. So in this particular step turning operation, the workpiece may be turned to several diameters. That means the total length of the job is with various sizes or various diameters. So in order to provide different sizes or various diameters, the material to be removed at a particular location to a particular size. That means if the diameter is small, if the diameter is less, in that particular length, the material to be removed to a large extent. Or if that particular portion diameter is more, in that particular condition, the material to be removed is very less. So the shoulder is the section where the size changes from one diameter to another. So the shoulder means the cross section at which the diameter changes from one size to another size. So if clearly we are observing, so the diameter from this particular length is very small, and what this is the shoulder, and from this particular length to from this particular length the diameter changes, and from this particular diameter once again the diameter changes. That means in order to perform turning operation, in order to obtain this particular shape size, first the plane turning is performed to full length. After performing plane turning to full length, next that particular turning operation is to performed from starting portion or from the beginning of the cylindrical job to a particular length or up to this particular length. Once the diameter reaches to this particular size, further the tool movement should start from the facing or just starting to up to this particular length only. If the cutting tool moves beyond this particular length, then this particular diameter it changes. So that's why in this particular turning, in this particular example, so diameter is changes at different locations. So whenever the diameter changes or whenever cross sectional changes, so either by using a radius shoulder or either by using a beveled shoulder also the diameter may be changes. So this is the real diagram of step turning operation produced on a lathe machine. So here the length of the job is longer one. That's why that particular open end or free end is supported with the help of the tail stop. So far we complete plane turning, next taper turning. After plane turning and taper turning, the next method is taper turning. After plane turning, first plane turning is completed, next eccentric turning is completed. After that one, step turning is completed. So the next one is the taper turning. So observe in the taper turning, in the previous turnings, the diameter is same for to a particular length. But in this particular taper turning, observe these are the components produced by using taper turning. Clearly observe the cross section or diameter changes uniformly. The diameter or cross section changes uniformly along the length of the job. Along the length of the job. If you observe any component, simply if you observe, if a particular person is having idea of chess, clearly they can identify this particular component is termed as the elephant. This particular one is called as the camel. So these are the general terms, but in the real time chess they are called or they are used as the knight and rook. Okay, these are the king and queen. So these are the components shown as example produced by using taper turning attachment. So this particular taper turning is very important and very elaborated one. So that's why this particular discussion taper turning to be carried in the next class. So this particular taper turning is, these are various, this taper turning is performed on various methods. That means, so in this class, just I explained to you what is meaning of taper turning. Next, different types of taper turning methods, and next some other important lathe operations are also there. That operations to be discussed in the next upcoming class. So now at the last, we should, that last topic to be discussed is the what is the meaning of taper turning. So a cylindrical job, what it may be the job that is used in this particular lathe machine or lathe operation is a cylindrical job. So that cylindrical job is converted into a conical surface to a particular length or to a total length. It is not a matter. So that means, what is the difference between a cylinder and a cone? For the cylinder, the diameter is same throughout its axis or throughout its length, whereas for cone, the diameter changes randomly or regularly or irregularly. Yes, regularly. That means the diameter of the component changes uniformly along its length, then it is called as the cone. So in this particular taper turning operation also, by using that particular cutting tool, by using the movement of the cutting tool, the diameter is adjusted in such a way that the diameter varies uniformly along the axis of the job. So that particular method of turning, or that particular method of motion of the cutting tool is called as the taper turning operation. So the tool moves at an angle to the axis of rotation. So when it is possible, whenever the cutting tool is moved, it's certainly inclined with the axis only. So for that particular purpose, the tool moves at a particular angle or a required angle to the axis of rotation of the job. So observe, the cutting tool moves with a certain inclination. Here the diameter is smaller, and when the job moves to this one, the diameter is somewhat larger. That means the cross section or diameter changes uniformly from this particular length to from this particular length. So that's why this particular turning operation is called as the taper turning operation. So this is the cutting tool moved along that particular length of the axis of the job. So in the next class, actually taper turning is a elaborated topic. We are supposed to discuss the number of what are the types of taper turning methods. So in the next upcoming class, the discussion is on knurling and thread cutting and drilling operation. So far in this class, we discussed the important operations are facing operation and turning operation. The turning operation is also three types. First one is the plane turning, next one is the eccentric turning, third one is the step turning, fourth one is the taper turning. In facing operation, the cutting tool moves perpendicular to the axis of the job. So this particular how it is possible by giving motion to the cross slide only. Next one is the turning operation. So the turning may be step turning or plane turning. The cutting tool moves parallel to the axis of the job. In that condition, the cutting tool means only saddle or carriage moves along the lathe guideways. So that is the next one is the taper turning. In taper turning operation, the cutting tool should not move parallel or perpendicular to the job. That means the cutting tool moves with certain inclination with the axis of the job. In this way, the three operations, that means step turning, plane turning, and taper turning operations are carried over a lathe. In addition to these three operations, another turning operation is also there, that is eccentric turning. That means that particular two cylindrical jobs or centers are separated with a distance, then it is termed as the eccentric turning. So the next discussion regarding the next lathe operations to be continued in the next upcoming class, most possibly tomorrow's class.